Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of The Afternoon Twist with your host, Psycho Backpuss and Kayla. Not to mention also with your other host, it's... It's the Brain Tools Show! That's right, with the two buffoons that you've been waiting for all week long. Well, they're back. They're back with friends. They're back with two other friends. Can you guess who that be? That be my co-host, Buffalo 2!
Right on, right on. Thank you, Rob the Brain. Thank you for introducing me. And I would like to introduce our special guests here because it's a collaboration show tonight. You are getting the best of both worlds. You are getting the Rob Brain Show. I'm sorry, the Rob Brain Show. I'm at the Brain Tool Show. And you're also getting the Afternoon Twist, late night edition. Afternoon twist with a late night twist, so you're double twisting it. So be careful because you could hurt yourself. So let me introduce Psycho Bagapus and his co-host, Kayla.
Oh, shoot. You've caught me on my throne. Alexa, flush toilet.
Oh, my.
And yes, hello there, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Exactly. Rob the Brain here, saying good evening to you all once again. And yes, it was the greatest opening we've ever had. Yes, indeed, because we have everyone in here, including one on the stool. So, having said that, yeah, you know, this week coming, I don't know if you guys know, if you remember, it is the Day of Love. It's the day that you actually go purchase some flowers or a box of chocolates that look in a heart shape, or send someone a card saying, will you be my Valentine? Yes, I am talking about Valentine's Day, as everyone knows it. Yes, indeed. Where everyone actually brings a little baby naked, slaps some wings on it, and make him hold a heart-shaped harpoon or a heart-shaped, what do you call it? You know, what do you call that again? Yeah, the one that goes up your ass and you go, oh, I'm in love. That's so lame. Anyway, if you are trying to make reservations to any restaurant, please do it now. No, not tomorrow. Do not delay, because you will not find any reservations at very nice hotels and or any nice restaurants. Believe it or not, it's one of those days where every restaurant and hotel wait for it from year to year. And that was my reminder to you. Back to you, Buffalo 2.
And yes, we have got a show lined up for you tonight. We are going to collaborate and elaborate and probably a little masturbate. All those bait words. That's right. And, right. Psycho Bagapus, are you finished yet?
Yes. Wow. Smelling fresh and good to go. I'd like to say, is everybody enjoying that white stuff out there? Snow Joke. Walker astonished by owl-shaped circle. Stories by Paul Miles. A perfectly symmetrical image was made up of shapes which were perfectly drawn on the snow by an unknown artist. A single trail of little footprints can be seen leading away from the huge shape, but otherwise it appears to be totally undisturbed. Civil servant Chris had his drone with him, so he sent it up to get some striking footage of the snowy picture at Roundway Hill Devices. What do you think of making images in snow? Snow Joke? Over to you. Right.
Oh, well, here we are. Okay, so it's no jokes. That's quite amusing. So if I was to put my image on snow, all I have to do is flat on my face, and there's a negative image right there. Kayla, I hear you have some very good stories. I would like to hear one, please.
Oh, yes, some very interesting ones tonight. Buffalo Tool mentioned masturbating. There was some cops looking for a perv accused of masturbating on a subway at the end of January. They were searching for a man who masturbated in front of other passengers on a Brooklyn subway and then lit a cigarette before getting off the train. The suspect was caught in the act as he lay across a bench on a southbound Q train as it pulled out of the station at about 12:30 a.m. on Monday, January 21st. After he finished, he stood up and lit a cigarette before walking off the train. He's believed to be in his 50s and was last seen wearing gray sweatpants, a blue hooded sweatshirt, and black and white sneakers.
Masturbation? This is a double standard. Really, it is. When a guy does it, it's bad. And when a woman does it, it's hot. Why is that? You know what? From now on, I'm going to masturbate like a woman. I will do it in public. I will spread eagle and start jerking off and have people watch me and say, hey, it's okay if I had a pussy.
Masturbation. Did you know there's a whole park in South Korea dedicated to penises? Yes, the story goes that there was a young virgin that was stranded on an island, and in a storm, and located on the beautiful coast of Sinam, South Korea. The park is dedicated to the memory of a young virgin woman whose fisherman lover left her on a rock while he caught fish at sea. Needless to say, a storm came and she died, because who leaves their virgin girlfriend stranded on a rock? Legend has it, after her death, the villagers could no longer catch fish. So they did the only thing you can do when a virgin dies in a storm, and built giant wooden penises to appease her spirit. Strangely enough, the strategy worked, and the villagers were able to catch fish again. And so they continued to erect more carvings in her honor. Now, there was also rumored that the fisherman also masturbated into the sea to appease her virgin spirit. What do you think about this, Rob? Toolman? Kayla? Anybody?
I have no thoughts. No thoughts at all. That's the one park I would never visit. Even though I do like masturbation.
I almost went to that penis park when I was in South Korea. I was over there. And Rob, you mentioned women masturbating. I don't know if this would be so hot, if you consider this hot, but in Louisiana a while ago, a woman was arrested for masturbating in a Walmart bathroom, and she was not using your typical rocket-shaped paraphernalia or even an East Texas guy finger. She was using a Jimmy Dean sausage. Coming from News 8 in Louisiana, police were called to a Walmart where there was suspicious activity going on in the bathroom. They suspected that a customer was shoplifting food, but when they went into that restroom to check out the activity, she was not shoplifting food. She was masturbating with a Jimmy Dean sausage.
Jimmy Dean's sausage of all things? Oh my God. Now that is cool. I don't know about you, but that's hot. You get breakfast, you get sex. It's all wrapped into one. You can't beat it. You just cannot beat it. That's the most funnest idea I have ever heard or seen, which I haven't seen, but I would like to. Kayla, do you have anything else? Because something tells me Kayla has a very good story.
Oh, I do. Yes, my next one is about the Vegas attack that happened back in 2017. The high-stakes gambler responsible for the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history sought notoriety in the attack, but left his specific motive a mystery, the FBI said Tuesday, as it concluded the investigation of the 2017 massacre that killed 58 country music fans. While the agency found no single or clear motivating factor to explain why Stephen Paddock opened fire from his suite in a high-rise casino hotel, Paddock may have been seeking to follow in his father's criminal footsteps. Paddock's physical and mental health was declining. The 64-year-old's wealth had diminished, and he struggled with aging. The findings were contained in a long-awaited report compiled by the FBI's Behavior Analysis Unit, a group of experts who spent months examining several factors that might have led to the rampage. Paddock, who acted alone, fatally shot himself as police closed in. Almost 900 people were hurt during the October 1st, 2017 attack on an outdoor concert. The gunman was inspired in part by his father's reputation as a bank robber who was once on the FBI's most wanted list. In many ways, he was similar to other active shooters the FBI has studied, motivated by a complex merging of developmental issues, stress, and interpersonal relationships. The gunman was not directed or inspired by any group and was not seeking to further any agenda.
That's some story. So the guy basically, and what I gathered from this, now I could be wrong, but from what I gathered from this is that the guy was having problems with aging. I mean, he refused to get older, so he went on a rampage. Is that what it comes down to? Is that what I understood? Did I understand that correctly?
Well, apparently he was losing his money, and it said that his money was dwindling down, and he was getting older, and apparently his father was a bank robber, so I guess different things set him over the edge, from what it sounds like.
And Rob, now correct me if I'm wrong, and I could be wrong, but it sounds like Kayla has also gotten documents from higher sources. And you know it's got to be true. Because I've got documents here, and I have got a story for you whenever you want to hear it.
Oh, wait. You have a document like hers from higher sources? Here's the problem. My higher sources stopped talking to me. Because I have sent the wrong gift, apparently. It turns out they don't like unsliced pepperoni, but that's not the case. I'd like to hear your story.
Okay, here we go. This one's a lighter story here. Let me get my documents out. Okay. The title of the story is Airplane Forced to Make Emergency Landing Because Woman's Crotch Smelled So Bad. Now, earlier this week, Rob, we were talking about swamp ass, swamp crotch, and everybody had an opinion about it. But there's a passenger, his name is Jamal. He was very angry. He was on a flight to Washington, D.C. when the flight was forced to land early, and this is what he had to say about that. I quote, I thought something had crawled up in that and died. It smelled straight up like weave and diarrhea mixed with skunk juice. And he is referring to his flight making an emergency landing after several people were reportedly getting sick from the strong odor being emitted by passenger Larissa Jones. Several passengers began to complain about the smell. Finally, after 8 passengers began vomiting, a flight attendant notified the captain, who decided to make an emergency landing in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hazmat crews were called to the scene, where the plane was immediately cleaned and sanitized. Quote, I can't believe she would have the nerve to go out in public smelling like that, let alone in a confined space, said Susie Smith, flight attendant. I should quit my job and sue the airline for pain and suffering. They knew she stank that bad before she got on the plane. I will have nightmares about that smell for the rest of my life. After the plane landed, Jones was taken to a local hospital to be examined for possible fatal illness. EMTs that arrived on the scene said they did not want to take any chances. Quote, nobody smells like that could possibly be healthy. She needs to be examined. We don't want to take any chances.
Okay, Buffalo Tool, I have no problem with the story. It's brilliant. I loved it. It was odd, actually, but that's not the point. I think you had a problem reading it. See, whenever you're quoting somebody, you're supposed to change your voice and accent. Let's assume that first passenger sounds kind of, Southern. Yeah. And let's assume the the flight attendant was from Boston, a New Englander, not necessarily Bostonian, where they don't pronounce the R's. And so let's assume the EMT was British. Read the story again. Go.
What if I just read the quotes?
That will work.
Okay, angry passenger number 1. I thought something had crawled up in that and died. It smelled like straight up weave and diarrhea mixed with skunk juice. How's that?
Oh, great. Okay, so the flight attendant, she's from Boston, where they don't say Oz. I packed the cat, have it yad, And oh my God, you got to say it like a God. Yeah, just like that.
I've never attempted a Boston accent. I don't know, Rob. I mean, I'm afraid I'll mess it up.
Fine, she can be Canadian, where you can say a boot.
Well, let me try the Boston one, because I really can't do a Canadian one. All right, let me try it. I can't believe she would have the nerve to go out in public smelling like that, let alone in a confined space, said Susie Smith, flight attendant. I should quit my job and sue the airline for pain and suffering. They know she stank that bad before she got on the plane. I will have nightmares about that smell for the rest of my life.
Oh my God, that was terrible. Terrible at best. All right, fine. So the EMT comes in and says, no, we're going to check this out. We said the EMT is going to be British, so pretend British. Oh, yes, we are not taking any chances. We are going to take her immediately to the hospital and have her examined. Try that.
Okay. I've never done a British accent either, but nobody smells like that could possibly be healthy. She needs to be examined. We don't want to take any chances. And will somebody please ring Keith?
Ah, right. Will somebody ring Keith? Yes, of course. Anyway, right. So, Psycho Bagapus, what did you think of his British accent? And do you have any other stories?
Well, his British accent is much like my Bostonian. What? And yes, fears for new mother after baby girl found abandoned in park by Rylan Wilkinson. A newborn baby was found abandoned in a shopping bag in an East London park as temperatures approached freezing. The girl, who has been named Roman by nurses, was found late at night by a woman walking her dog with her children after she heard the infant crying. She was just 30 minutes old when she was found and still had her umbilical cord attached. The Metropolitan Police said Roman was wrapped in a white towel, which was put in a shopping bag and then placed on the ground next to a bench in the small children's play park. No attempt had been made to hide her, they added. The woman called emergency services as soon as she found the baby at around 10:15 p.m. in the park in Roman Road near the junction with Saxon Road, Eastham, in the borough of Newham. Georgina, player 26, who lives around the corner from the play area, said the police came knocking at midnight to tell us what happened. They said she was only 30 minutes old when she was found. She even still had her umbilical cord. She's at Newham Hospital and I'm going to go there this afternoon to drop some things off for her. Baby grows, milk, anything. I feel so bad for the little thing. She was left in a towel and plastic bag on the ground next to a bench, not even on it. The police had sniffer dogs trying to find a blood trail, but they couldn't, which makes me ask how she left in that state. Although it was dark, a lot of people passed through there. You have to walk past to get to the buses. I wish she knocked on the door for help, but I think she knew someone would find the baby. Police said they are growing increasingly concerned for her mother's welfare, as they believe she may be in need of urgent medical attention. Roman was in a stable condition this morning after being taken to an East London hospital. A photo issued by police showed she had been hooked up to an intravenous drip and monitoring equipment. Appealing directly to her mother, Inspector Shane Clark of North East Command Unit said, I urge you to make contact either with police, your local hospital or GP surgery. It is really important that we know that you are safe. I would also urge anyone who has information that could help us to reunite this baby with her mother to come forward. So, abandoning babies in the cold. What do you think about this? Rob? Tool? Kayla? Everybody listening?
Yeah, I was listening. It baffles me. You said no blood trail?
Oh my God, that was a sad story. You know, really it was. You know, this is a baby we're talking about here. I mean, really, who has the heart to do that? They must have been high or drunk or something. But even so, it's just, that's a heartless thing to do, I think, in my opinion. Yeah.
Having had babies, the mother didn't abandon that child. She wasn't walking 13 minutes later.
$30 but yeah. How can you give birth without nobody even noticing? Surely somebody must have known something.
Well, you know, what really bothers me about the story is that not so much, look, people are people, all right? People do crazy things. Hell, Buffalo Tool and I do crazy things. Every one of us must have had something crazy they've done back in their past, or they're still doing something crazy along the line. But But how crazy is too crazy, right? That's the question, really. That's really what is that question. That is really the question of sanity. I mean, who does that? Who really does that? You know, with their sound mind to do such a thing to an innocent, newly born.
Oops.
Oops, you forgot your memory foam inserts, the new improved ones? With antibacterial foot powder there, Buffalo Tool? Or do you need to go out and get some from Azamon?
I'm not so sure, but when he said oops, I thought he's going to say, I did it again. I played with your ass, and it stunky at my hands. Oh, baby, baby. Hey, Kayla, got any other good stories? Because you are a heavy hitter, woman. You got like all the good stuff. All the good stuff. That was a sad story. I want something to make me happy. Or even more sad. Hey, what the hell? We live in a miserable world.
There's no making you happy, Rob. There is no making you happy. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I do got another good one. This one is about a man arrested for killing family, stealing $210,000 to send to a woman he met on a porn site. And Robin is a Florida man. He killed his parents and brother after he was kicked out of his home and accused of stealing $210,000 from his family to send to a woman he had met on a porn website. Grant Amato has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of his parents, Chad and Margaret Amato, and brother Cody. Seminole County Sheriff's Office deputies found the victims' bodies Friday in their home after a co-worker reported that Cody had not shown up for work. Grant was arrested and held without bail Monday. The Orlando Sentinel reports that Cody's girlfriend told deputies Grant had stolen $60,000 in guns from his brother. She said Grant had been recently kicked out of a training program to become a nurse and stole the money to talk to a Bulgarian woman he met online. Another brother, Jason, told investigators Grant had stolen $150,000 from their father. In an interview with investigators, Grant said he had argued with his parents over his relationship with a woman he met through an adult website, and that his parents told him he could have no contact with her if he wanted to continue living at their home.
Oh, that's a juicy story, all right. That is so juicy. When you bit into that, I saw the drool, right? It's just, oh my God, that was so juicy. Man, the juices of life oozed out of that one. Or death in this case. But wow. Wow. I mean, really, wow. A porn site, a man, dead parents, $200. Amazing. Simply amazing. This guy's brilliant. Really. No, I'm not condoning his act. I'm just calling him brilliant in a sense of mockery.
Right. He sent that much money to a porn star that he's never even met. I don't let my neighbor borrow $20 or $10 or whatever. I don't know my neighbors. Hey, bud, you got $10 I can borrow for gas so I can get to work? Nope, sorry. Sorry, sure don't. This driver carries no cash.
And Rob, it was $210,000. Yeah, that he wanted to send to a woman on a porn site. And yes, it was a Bulgarian woman.
I'm sorry, 201,000. Wow, that is a lot of money too still. But damn it, to a Bulgarian woman of all things. Bulgarians are very, very famous for making very good cheese. Yes, I'm not joking. If you like queso blanco, believe it or not, it's not made in Mexico as much as in Bulgaria. Or for that matter, good feta cheese. Yeah, If you're into feta, I'm into feta. It's very salty, very good, very, very good. Creamy, yeah, crumbly. Oh, yumsy. But anyway, so Bulgarian woman, $200,000, porn site, dead parents, and an insane little kid. He's got to be a kid. It can't be an adult. No way in hell. And if it was, that guy is just a moron. A moron with a death wish. You know, Kayla, you always get the good stuff. But I know Shekobekpus is holding on something under his cuffslings. Now, Shekobekpus, please tell me something okay in the world, not something wrong with it.
Wait. Kayla, would you happen to know the name of that Bulgarian porn site that guy was visiting? That he was going to send the money to? You know, the something.com?
Wait, what? You want to go on there? Why? So she can ask you for $200,000 so you can go kill somebody? You're crazy.
No. Just for shits and giggles. Just to I want to do a little investigative reporting.
I do not know the website. I don't believe it said.
There we go. Maybe he needs to speak to his higher sources. Right. Okay, Rob. If I said Spielberg to you, would you know who I'm talking about?
Yes, Spielberg. The amazing Steven Spielberg. Oh, God, this man made excellent movies. Anywhere from Jaws, E.T., and Indiana Jones. Yeah, Spielberg did those. And who else? Oh, God, the man did a lot of stuff. Pinky and the Brain, believe it or not, was one of his creations. Yeah, I know Spielberg.
Right, okay, so if I was to say Spielberg facing a battle over war movie shot near Stonehenge, or war movie shoot near Stonehenge, and the story is by Alex Ross, would you know what I'm on about?
Oh, no, now I'm confused. Stonehenge battle, Steven Spielberg. Nope, doesn't ring a bell. Doesn't ring a bell. Wait, bing, it did, but not the one that I'm familiar with.
Right, okay. Steven Spielberg faces a battle with conservationists who fear filming on his latest wartime blockbuster will disturb archaeological sites near Stonehenge. The Hollywood legend wants to build a mock French farmstead complete with combat trenches on Salisbury Plain for the World War I epic 1917, directed by Sam Mendes. Details of the proposed construction and 21 weeks of filming have emerged in a planning application to Wiltshire Council. But Wiltshire Archaeological and Natural History Society fears the building work and the creation of trenches could impact on historic and archaeological features. They said a proper geophysical investigation was needed before building work began on the MOD-owned land near the village of Shrewton, north of Stonehenge. Around 500 people will be employed at the site, including dozens of extras. Phil Shedrake, conservation officer for the RSPB, has also said an assessment should be done with the impact on the endangered stone curlew, which lives in the area. Information on proposed filming came to light in the planning application submitted to Wiltshire County Council by Storyworks Productions Limited in November 2018. Agents Planet Consulting say the filming would bring considerable benefit to the local economy, with staff staying at nearby hotels and bed and breakfasts. Construction of the farmstead has been earmarked from February the 4th before filming begins on April 29th. The film, Sam Mendes' first since directing Bond movies Skyfall and Spectre, is set to be released in time for Christmas. While
Continue with your story.
While details of the plot are scant, the year 1917 saw some of the bloodiest battles of the First World War, including the Battle of Arras and Passchendaele. Salisbury Plain is used by the MOD for training, but it has a long history of being used in films and TV. The Beatles' second film, Help, was shot on the plane, and it became the Russian steeps for the film Anna Karenina, released in 2012. Wiltshire County Council is set to make a decision on planning application at the end of this month. So that is my story. So Steven Spielberg is coming to a town near me. Current planning permission, if approved.
E.T. Phone Home.
More like E.T. Come home. So, will you be able to visit that site, Sekobagapus? Because it isn't in a town near you. And I'm, of course, assuming that there will be securities and whatnot where you cannot really cross the lines and what have you. But, will you be lurking in the bush somewhere, holding on your cell phone and your goggles, and, you're kind of trying to see who's going to be acting and how they do these video effects, and then you're going to go onto TMZ later on and say, hey, I saw Steven Spielberg actually sitting down drinking tea of all things. The man is a bazillionaire and he's drinking tea.
Well, I was thinking maybe I might be able to become an extra, and if I carry a note somewhere saying the Brain Tool Show, hey, I might be able to get the Brain Tool Show on a World War One film, a Steven Spielberg World War One film.
That would be brilliant. Brilliant. I say, my dear friend. And Rob, we've had a request in the box from somebody.
Oh, really? Well, I'm all ears. Fire away, my friend. What is your request? Come forth and speak to us.
Well, I'll just roll with it here. Mr. OG Criminal has requested something about bacon. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a musical group in here tonight to sing a song about bacon. So I'm going to read an article that I found about bacon. Bacon is good for a lot of things. You can put bacon in just pretty much any recipe and make it taste good. But this woman, her name is Camaro Crispy. Her last name is spelled C-R-I-S-P-I, Crispy. She tried to burn down her ex-husband's house using bacon. Okay. Let's see how she did it. She took a pound of bacon, she placed it on a cookie sheet, put it on top of his stove, and set it to high. She was not able to start a house fire successfully because, it did not work. She was pretty drunk at the time she tried this, and when she was arrested, she had a blood alcohol level of 0.346. Damn. That's pretty good.
Whoa. Some lady wanted to burn down the house using bacon? I mean, who does? Well, she was drunk. Okay, in her defense, she was drunk. But who does that? I mean, if she wants every cat and dog everywhere in a couple of square miles, knowing the fact that this house is going to smell delicious, and her husband, if he was in the house, he probably woke up thinking, it's morning already. Oh, wait a minute. The sun is not up, bacon is on the fire, and she's sitting there laughing. What's up with that picture? I know. She wants to make me bacon. Love you, wife. But the truth was, she was trying to kill him. So, well, having said that, I know Kayla has another story up her sleeve.
Ooh, I was going to say, I can lead on to another story about naming cockroaches for Valentine's Day after your ex-partner. But we'll get to that after Kayla. Ooh. Cockroach.
Yes, I have another very interesting story for everybody. It is about two strip club dancers saying an officer paid them $2,500 for sex. Police and court records say two Rhode Island strip club dancers charged with stealing a Boston police officer's gun are alleging the officer paid them $2,500 for sex. The Providence Journal reports say the two women told authorities Boston officer Emmanuel Brandeo arranged a date with them last weekend at a Pawtucket, Rhode Island hotel. The records say Brandeo told police he and the woman were hanging out, and he discovered his gun was missing after they left. The gun was later found at a fire station. The Providence women were detained on a larceny and conspiracy charges. The Journal reports Brandeo is on paid leave pending an investigation.
Okay, this is funny for me. I'm sorry. I mean, I understand policemen are people too, and occasionally they go out and meet the ladies of the night. But really, why would you go out with anyone really, and carry your gun with you? Especially on a date. Well, what are you planning on doing with it, really? Oh, put the gun in my head and do me. Oh. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to kill you. Shoot, damn. Well, she's kinky, all right.
Now, if we can just clarify, which gun came out missing? Because you said hanging out, so obviously his gun was hanging out, and then his gun came up missing. So which one are we talking about? The one that goes bang bang, or the one that goes?
I'm going to take a guess and say the one that goes boom boom.
A boom, 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 boom. A bang, 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 bang. See, that's the problem with that story, man. It's too confusing. But she was really kinky to death, but hey, she didn't end up dying. But it's not the point. I mean, really, who goes out on a date with a gun? I never understood that. That never made sense to me. I mean, I understand the man is a police officer. I understand he's a human being, and he wants to release some, he wants to blow off some steam. But damn it, man, you're going to hang out with ladies of the night. I mean, really, you bring your gun with you? Oh, God. Good God, that just so don't make sense to me. I'm sorry. I could be wrong, and most likely I am. But I never understood that. Hey, baby, want to see my gun?
Rob, go eat a burrito. The reason he had his firearm with him is probably because after that amount of money was exchanged, he was probably afraid of a strong pimp hand coming after him.
Nonsense. The minute the pimp sees his badge somewhere on him, he's gonna back off. Hey, where's my money, bitch? Hey, stop, I'm a police officer. Oh, really? Yeah, here, see, look. See, that's my badge. That's my ID. Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, I'm sorry, bro. Next fuck is on us.
Don't forget to throw in the donuts.
Yes, don't forget to throw in the Dunkin' Donuts. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and with that comment, it makes you wonder what hole he was sticking it in.
Definitely the donut hole.
Ooh, okay, so everybody has an X, don't they? Now, would you consider naming a cockroach after your ex? After their ex-partner? A zoo in the US state of Texas is celebrating Valentine's Day by inviting visitors to name cockroaches after their ex-partners. And an event called Quit Bugging Me, keepers at El Paso Zoo will feed the insects to hungry meerkats. They will also display ex-partners' names around the meerkat enclosure and on social media. Sarah Borrego, the event organizer, said it was a fun and different way to celebrate Valentine's Day. All of us have exes, and we are still not over it. And it's a great way to get the community in and also get out a little bit of the frustrations, she said. The event will be streamed live on Facebook and on Zoo's Meerkat webcam. Since the event was posted on Facebook on Monday, the names of 1,500 ex-partners have been sent to the zoo, with entries coming from as far afield as Germany and Australia. The event has also sparked excitement on Twitter. Only the first names or initials of ex-lovers are to be on display in the zoo and on social media. Miss Borrega thinks that the overwhelming response may be an indication that people are sick of Valentine's Day because it is so commercial. She added that the zoo has not received any complaints about the event, but there might be some backlash. Miss Borrega said the cockroaches will be fed to monkeys as well as meerkats. Cockroaches are considered a treat for meerkats. She said the animals will only receive one cockroach each, as the insects are the equivalent of cookies for humans. Bronx Zoo in New York and the Helmsley Conservation Centre in Kent, UK are inviting visitors to take part in similar exercises. Last year, Helmsley Conservation Centre had a 2-for-1 offer for couples to visit the zoo, but this Valentine's Day they decided to do something different. Visitors pay £1.50 or the equivalent of $2 to receive a certificate as a keepsake of the cockroach named after their ex-lover. We have had people say we'll give you £500 donation if you film someone stamping on the cockroach, he said, but the zoo has refused, deciding to keep the cockroaches alive. Like El Paso Zoo, they will also be displaying the names of spurned lovers on Valentine's Day. Sydney Zoo in Australia has gone one step further. Visitors have been asked to enter a competition to name a highly venomous brown snake after an ex-lover. Entrants have to explain to the zoo what their ex did to earn a snake being named after them. So, have we got exes out there that feel should be eaten by meerkats or monkeys as cookies? Buffalo Tool, Rob the Brain. Anybody on channel? We've heard not very much from the channel today.
Right, we haven't heard much from the channel. But if I was to say, when you were talking about that story, the only thing came in my mind was a country song by saying, "All my exes live in Texas."
They do? How many X's have you got in Texas? Because there's only one X in Texas.
I can probably think of one or two. Yeah, I could name a cockroach after.
Well, if I was to go personal, sincerely, I don't think I would. I never had a problem with any of the exes I broke up with, or they broke up with me. We've always left on good terms. And if we didn't leave on good terms, we kind of made up for it. So, you know, it's funny. I never had a bad relation. You know, if things didn't work out, everybody goes their way. And I kept in touch with some of my exes, and they were my friends. So I really, really, sincerely don't have an ex that I want to name a cockroach after, or a snake pit for that matter.
What about you, Mr. Psychobagapus? Do you have an X or two or three or maybe a few that you'd like to participate with?
I don't think I want to participate with any of my exes.
No, I mean in participate in naming the roach.
I don't know. Why would... That is only a small moment of... and then it's gone. Ah, you've just been eaten. Maybe if it was with some Chianti and some fava beans.
Wait a minute. Did he just use one of those lines from that movie? What's it called? Silence of the Lambs? Ooh, in this case, the movie would be called Silence of the Cockroaches.
So everybody out there that's listening has an X. Everyone's got an X. You can't tell me you don't have an X. Some of us have more than others. So we're going to throw the question out there to the people in our listeners, our texters. Preferably if you're listening and can key up and tell us. You don't have to give any names. Do you have an X that you would like to see a cockroach named after? So I'm going to throw it to the audience. Ready? I'm throwing it. I'm even throwing it left-handed in a wussy kind of way. Oh yeah, that just fell right in front of me.
I got a couple of them.
Okay, so if it landed in front of you, what's that tell you? That maybe you got some exes that you'd like to name some roaches after? There was always that Men in Black film, you know, where Will Smith is dancing on them cockroaches to try and get the alien cockroach his attention. Oh, was that your grandma? Was that your cousin? Oh.
Tilly said she's got a couple. Now, Tilly, here's where we're going to interact with the hosts, all four of us. You can pick one. Pick one of your exes, the worst one. What did they do that would make them worthy of having a cockroach named after them? Miss Tilly.
One of my ex-fiancés tried to kill me when I was pregnant.
I have one also.
Now that is pretty cockroach low belly to the floor.
I don't know. That sounds more like a snake pit for me. But, Lovebug, what would qualify your ex to be a cockroach?
Please don't say because his name is Buffalo Tool. Shh. We're supposed to keep that secret.
Filthy, dirty animal.
Okay. Right.
Okay, right. Buffalo told us a filthy, dirty animal. What did you do?
Let me guess. Let me take a wild guess. Buffalo Tool. Filthy dirty. I know what he did. He actually started fighting back with feces in his hands. He would poop on his hand and throw it right back. Oh, man. What a terrible way to fight.
It was the swamp ass.
I know what it was. You said you were going to go visit, and then your truck broke down, leaving the steak on the grill and the beer in the fridge.
I apologized for that. I did. I said, hey, you know what? It's not my fault. The truck broke down. I couldn't make it in time. I'm sorry. I apologized. I don't know if that makes me worthy of having a cockroach named after me, but is there anybody else out there in our audience? Remember, this show is recorded in front of a live studio audience, so there's got to be someone else out there that has an ex that a cockroach should be named after, and what did they do? If you don't mind, if it's not too personal.
Is there anybody out there?
We can always rely on this or that. Maybe, is there an Adam or a Todd out there? Maybe they got some exes.
Well, Adam just posted in here that he has two XXXs. So, wait, that's three X's. That's porn material. Two X's would be the beer. So, Adam's got two triple X's that he could name a cockroach after. Bet they're pretty hot if they're triple X's.
Well, actually, my finger slipped on the third X. But I do have two X's, but one in particular couldn't hold back, was at work at a Goodwill store, okay? A Goodwill store. Couldn't hold back on lunch break and cheated on me in the bathroom on the floor with one of her coworkers. Came all the way home with him. I thought she was going to walk into the apartment with him and introduced me to him, but he introduced himself to the front of the door when I slammed it in his face and broke his nose. And then we were done, for sure.
Okay, so on the bathroom floor in a store, she wasn't using the Albert What's It sausage, was she?
No, but do you realize how many people dribble on the floor or make a mess of any sort on the floor? The disgustingest floor ever would be your bathroom floor, especially at a public Goodwill. That has to be the most disgusting thing. There's public hair everywhere. There's yuck.
Well, she was accepting the goodwill offering he was making to her. She was waiting for a deposit.
To be honest, when I saw the three X's, when Adam posted it, I thought he was talking about his T-shirt. But hey, I could be wrong, and I was wrong. My apologies. I sincerely apologize to you, sir. I thought you were talking about the T-shirt size you wear, so I'm not gonna go there. I'll leave it at that. So I'm sending you an apology.
Bathroom floor until someone opens up the door and she says, close the door, you're letting all the stank out.
Oh yeah, no. Bathroom floor until somebody opens the door, and then she looks square in the eyes and say, "Give me more. Oh, give me more."
Can't you see I'm otherwise engaged? I will be vacant in about 5 minutes.
I must say, that was pretty bad. That's That was pretty darn bad. On a scale of 1 to 10 on bad, I give that one a 9.5 just because it was on the bathroom floor. 9.5 is what I mean there.
Wait. So this is a public restroom. They're on the floor doing it. I mean, maybe this is one of those kinky things. I mean, people do weird shit, Like I said, people are weird. People are weird, She was so horny, her and her coworker, they didn't care. Or maybe that's a turn on. I want to do it on all that piss and mud and crap and spit that people leave in those bathroom stools. Oh, yeah, that sounds hot, Hey, different strokes for different folks.
Oh, hang on a minute. It wasn't Shaggy, was it? It wasn't me. Did it on the bathroom floor? It wasn't me. I even had her on the counter. It wasn't me. The screaming got louder. And marks on my shoulder. It wasn't me. And do you realise we've hit the halfway point and we haven't even had any questions from Kayla or This Week in History or birthdays?
But before we do so, folks, we really need to remind everyone that are listening, if you like the show, and I'm sure you do, or else you wouldn't be tuning in. We would like to thank you for tuning in if you're listening to us throughout Twitch and or YouTube, or even here on Zello. Once again, thank you. Thank you for your support. We love you. We love having you on the show. And in order for you to get to the shows, all you have to do is download the Zello app, go into CB Radio Drama Free in the channel search, and then you will come right to the channel that actually hosts us and actually gives us the platform in order for us to do these shows. And for them, we say thank you again. So if you really like the shows and you want to be a participant and be a part of the active audience with any of those shows that gives you the opportunity to actually talk to both the guests and the hosts alike, this is the place to do it. CB Radio Drama Free is available on the Zello Internet Network. Right. So, but before we go further, I do want to also give out the timeouts that we actually do. Like, for example, the Brain Tool Show is usually every Saturday at midnight. We air the Brain Tool Show. Yes, of course, you can always catch us on that hour. The Afternoon Twist usually comes in every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, tomorrow it's not going to be airing because we are doing this particular special with them. And if you do like mumbling, please don't forget to tune in. Please don't forget to tune into This and That on Thursday. There will be a whole lot of mumbling and a whole lot of topics. Really, really interesting place to be. So if you are interested in any of our shows, now you know how to get to them, and now you know how to participate and where to listen to. So saying that, we should continue and resume our show. But before we go out, don't forget to call Keith.
Alright, so I do have some questions for everybody. Right, and as usual, either key up and answer or use the text box to answer. Alright, question number 1. How many times was Charles de Gaulle president of France?
12.
3.
4.
1.
It was actually 2. Alright, question number 2. Paul Weller, Rick Buckler, and Bruce Foxton were all members of which 1970s band?
ABBA.
Mark Knopfler, come on, man. That's, what do you call it? Dire Straits.
Camaros and mullets. Can I change my answer?
Sure. What's your other answer?
Boats and hose.
No! No! It's not boats and hose. It's hose and boats. You got it backwards.
It is actually the jam. Yes. All right, question number 3. Which sporting event was held in Manchester in 2002?
Oh, hang on. You say the jam. No, over in America that would be the jelly. So obviously you're talking about the English pop group held in Manchester. Ooh. I can't think of anything important for Manchester. No, I didn't just say that.
Oh, I got it. I know what it was. This is the right answer, okay? It was the first annual Psychobagapus Bicycling Without a Seat Challenge.
No, it's not. It was ass giving. Ass giving. Come on. Ass giving UK. We attended, you and I.
No, that wasn't in Manchester. I know it was. That's where the new hotel expansion was. Coming to you to Manchester near you soon. A new stadium and hotel and whatnot. I think they called it Trust House 26.
I'll be back in a minute.
He'll be back in a minute.
He shall be back in a minute. And it was the Commonwealth Games. All right, question number 4. What famous festival takes place on Pancake Tuesday in New Orleans?
Oh, wait. Isn't that the Mardi Gras?
Yes, it is. All right. So go back, push you ought to know the next one. All right, question 5. On a London Underground map, which line is colored gray?
The one that carries the train full of explosives to Parliament.
Are you talking about V for Vendetta? No, that was a red train, man. No, was it orange? It was orange. Yeah, that was the orange line. No. You got it all wrong. Remember the something November. I don't know. No, it's the 5th. The 5th of November, with the gunpowder and plot. Yeah?
Don't forget the treason.
Don't forget to call Keith.
But I have no reason to have a treason. And no, I won't forget to call Keith.
I can honestly tell you, Kayla, I don't study London Underground maps, so I do not know what the grey line is. You'd be better off asking someone like Radio Mad who drives a bus up there. Maybe he knows. Is it the Victoria line?
It is Jubilee. All right. How many teeth should an adult human have? Yeah. How many teeth should an adult have?
At least one.
Is that teeth that you can take in and out?
I'm going to say natural teeth.
Usually they're 24, isn't it?
I would say at least 32 teeth until Sandman punches you in the mouth and knocks them all out.
32.
Yeah, very good. 32. Yeah, Angel got that in the text box as well. All right, question number 7. Name the smallest constellation in our galaxy.
Galaxy Minor. Because it's small.
You know, I know this one, but I'm not going to say. I really am not going to say. I am wondering if people really know their astronomy. So I'm just going to sit there on the sideline and go, yes. Name the smallest. The smallest.
The Little Dipper.
I think that would be the smallest constellation. That would be the Rob the Brain Penis constellation.
The Southern Cross.
Very good, Adam. Yes, the Southern Cross. All right, question number 8. Are pandas a species of bear?
No.
No.
No!
No, they're not. All right, who said he could resist everything but temptation?
I know that one. It is Nero.
Adam. Because once Eve got him with that apple. Woo!
Caesar.
Is that Caesar dressing or Caesar the sandwich? Which is it?
Little Caesar.
Ah, the pizza maker, yes.
It was Oscar Wilde. All right, last question. Line dancing is associated with which type of music?
That would be country.
Country music. Good evening, everybody.
Mathematics. A little bit of algebra on the side. A little bit of division is what I need. A little bit of Rita. Aura.
Country western. Line dancing is country western.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong, ma'am. Yes, you are very wrong. It's country and western. It's 2 types of music. In your face!
Yes, very good. Country or western. Yes, very good.
Shoot, I was just getting ready to say honky tonk.
Wait a minute. Honky tonk. Well. Hello, everyone. Once again, you're listening to the Brain Tool Show and in collaboration with the Afternoon Twist. So if you're tuning in right now or you came into the channel, welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the biggest show we usually throw down. This particular week, especially, we're actually doing a collaboration with 2 shows. You got the best of both worlds. You got the 2 buffoons and the 2 smartest guys in the freaking entire ROC company. So, having said that, hey, you know what? Let's get smarter with the other 2. I'm still a buffoon. I'd like to learn.
Okay. Now, if you had a favorite sex toy, what color would it be?
Oh, can I say? Oh, I would love to say. My favorite sex toy would have to be made with, one of those chameleon lines. It's like the minute you enter that woman changes color or whatever. Oh, that would be so cool. It's like, yeah, all right, I'm having sex with the green one. Why? Because I'm having sex on top of a plant or something, or better yet, like, like you lean in on the wall and she turns white. Oh, that would be so cool, or oh, the couch, yes. Yeah, what color is that couch? It's a leather brown. Yep, she turns leather brown. Isn't that awesome?
And the only reason we think we're the biggest show here on Drama Free is because Rob hung his pants out on the clothesline today to dry, and let's just say that the waist size was huge.
Okay. Right. Now, a rival put a purple sex toy on show in a tea room feud by Tommy Lumbee. And hello, Blondie, and welcome to the Collaboration Afternoon Twist Stroke Brain Tool Show. A feud between two village cafe owners erupted after one of them left a purple sex toy in a car outside her rival's business. Kerry Radley became embroiled in a long-running turf war with Judith and Martin Nudd after the couple opened Prima Rosa tea room just 20 yards from her own business, Radley's, in 2015. A litany of allegations led to Radley, 46, receiving a council order, later withdrawn, banning her from even looking into the Nudd's cafe window in Salhouse, Norfolk. Now she has been found guilty of causing harassment and distress after parking a Nissan 4x4 in front of Prima Rosa with a sex toy on display. A court was told that a customer was asked by one of the children why there was a purple cucumber in the car. Mrs. Nudd was left sobbing and utterly distraught after spotting the explicit item last May, Norwich Magistrates Court heard. Radley was fined £180 and ordered to pay £250 costs and a £30 victim surcharge. She was cleared of charges related to customers. Was cleared of charges related to customers at Prima Rosa. Sentencing her, chair of the magistrates, Val Chambata, said the dispute needed to stop, adding that the village was not coming out of this very well. Having opened her cafe in 2014, problems for Radley began when the Nudds set up shop a year later. The spat, which included allegations of advertising signs being smeared in dog waste and malicious hygiene complaints, appeared to end when Radley closed her business in September 2017. But it rumbled on when 2 months later she was made a subject of a community protection notice by Broadland District Council over claims she had caused anxiety to staff and customers. The order was dropped last month ahead of the appeal, and the council paid her £1,200 in court costs. So, yesterday Mr. Nudd told of his wife's relief that the case was over. Sex toys on display outside a cafe. Tea and crumpets and a little bit of dildo. Well, it's not a rotten one.
Now that is a classy story. I don't know about you guys, but I can only imagine someone reading. I mean, like, really, I can only imagine Psycho Begapus, right, dressed in a tuxedo, right, with a bow tie and and very fancy glasses and a white glove reading this particular classy story. I love it. I love it.
You just love because there's a dildo involved.
And I see we have a texter in the box. We got Dr. Cringe, Lone Wolf here. Welcome to CB Radio Drama Free. Well, I shouldn't say welcome to the channel. You belong in the channel, but welcome to the Brain Tool Show. Hope you're having a good night, and yeah, welcome to the show.
And moving on. Okay, Kayla, what have you got for us?
Alright, I think I shall do the This Week in History and Birthdays next. Alright, in 1918, the Soviets proclaim separation of church and state. In 1922, the Reader's Digest begins publication in New York. In 1964, Cuba blocks the water supply to the Guantanamo Naval Base in retaliation for the seizure by the United States of 4 Cuban fishing boats. In 1964, Paris and London agree to build a rail tunnel under the English Channel. In 1975, President Gerald Ford asked Congress for $497 million for aid to Cambodia. In 1924, the gas chamber is used for the first time to execute a murder. In 1922, the U.S. Congress establishes the World War Foreign Debt Commission. In 1941, London severs diplomatic relations with Romania. And birthdays. John Witherspoon, Declaration of Independence signer, was born in 1723. Sir Robert Peel, British Prime Minister, was born in 1788. Babe Ruth, baseball player with the Boston Red Sox, the New York Yankees, and the Boston Braves, was born in 1895. John Deere, farm equipment manufacturer, was born in 1804. Charles Dickens, prolific English author, was born in 1812. William Sherman, Union General in the American Civil War, was born in 1820. Alice Cooper, rock singer, turned 71. Dan Quayle, U.S. politician, turned 72. And Kimberly Wyatt, singer and dancer, turned 37.
And don't forget, OG Criminal turned 22 this week.
Also, Rip Torn, actor, is 88. Jimmy Tarbuck, comedian, is 79. Kevin Whately, actor, 68. Axl Rose, singer, is 57. Rick Ashley, singer, 53. Alice Eve, actress, is 37. And Darren Brent, the footballer, is 35.
Big Boab turns 38. And don't forget to ring Keith.
Ooh, now let's see. 1665, Queen Anne, last Stuart ruler, second daughter of James II, was born in London. 1685, the Merry Monarch Charles II died. 1783, English landscape gardener Lancelot Capability Brown died. 1788, Massachusetts became the 6th state of the United States. 1838, Sir Henry Irving, English actor, was born in Somerset. He was the first actor to be knighted. And 1918, the Representation of the People Act received royal assent, granting a vote to women over 30.
See, now this is interesting because people assume, which is funny. People, and it really is, and their assumption is right in its spot. Now, if you notice, 1778, I believe, is when Massachusetts became the 16th state to join the Union. People assumed right away that once we signed the Declaration of Independence, immediately, Massachusetts was considered one of the states almost instantly, which is not necessarily true, even though it started in Boston with the Boston Tea Party. But the truth is, it took a little while for it to be, to be an established state. So isn't that a little interesting? I mean, we started the whole entire revolution, and then yet we joined in the Union much, much later, which in a way is kind of funny, if you ask me. See, history has a lot of weirdness to it. Sometimes fiction is far more bizarre. I mean, fiction is less bizarre than reality. Reality can be just very, very odd. Hey, Buffalo Tool, speaking of, real stories that are weird, did you hear the latest news on how and where?
Ooh, hang on. If 1788, Massachusetts became the 6th state, who were the 5 that came before you? Oh, and also in 1958, 7 Manchester United footballers, the Busby Babes, were killed when their plane crashed in thick snow at Munich Airport.
Ooh, the 5 states that came before. Ugh. Shoot. I should have paid more attention in school. And Rob, I have not heard the where and the what. Is that what you asked me? Where, what? I don't know. I'm not wearing my 420 memory foam inserts anymore, so I tend to forget things.
No. I said the what and where. The what and where. But anyway, the where and what, or what and where, the how and why. Those are the 4 W's that almost every, and I mean literally every, everyone in law enforcement, in the justice system, be an attorney or a judge or whatnot. All right. And believe it or not, reporters. They call it the 4 W's. Okay. The where, the why, okay, the what, right, which is the what reason, for example. And guess what? The last W. Can you guess where it is?
In Houston.
Can't guess the last W? It's where, what, and why. Okay, there's another W. They call them the 4 W's. All right, which really, really is important for you to get to facts.
When?
Bingo. When? And that's exactly when I tell people how to join this particular channel and actually jump in on the conversation. All you have to do is download Zello. Yes, Zello app from any Play Store or any Google Play Store, whatever. It doesn't matter what platform you're on. Zello runs everything, literally. There's Zello on Microsoft. There's Zello on Apple. There's Zello on what do you call it? On Android. And you know what? There's Zello on almost every platform of every device there has been devised. So, having said that, all you have to do is download the Zello app and then get yourself to CB Radio Drama Free. Right, exactly like that, right? And you just go into the channel search and type in it, right? And then you're going to come here to our channel, right? And then you can join in on the conversation. Yes, you can. You can talk to the hosts. You can talk to the guests. You can just come and hang out. Hey, you know what? There's a lot of people in here, and this channel.
It's 5. Who, what, when, where, why.
And you can join in and chat with anyone at any given time, at any given place. So this is the only place that you can do this, on this particular channel, on this particular app. We air directly from Zello. And if you're listening to us across the, the other platforms such as Twitch and YouTube, again, we would love to thank you for your support. Pay TV, you've been very good to us. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. And shout out to a lot of people who actually hosts us on Twitch. You folks have been amazing, astonishing, and wonderful. If it wasn't for you, people wouldn't really know about us, honestly. And so, again, from our production team to you, we say thanks. So, having said that, now that you know the where, what, and why, and when, the last one that I'd like to actually say is who is that's an H, right? Who and how. Those two other, they call them the two H's, the two major H's. The who is us. The how, we told you how. So all you have to do is just download Zello.
Right. Rob, I know you're very knowledgeable when it comes to food. Now, what would you say the British are famous for when it comes to food?
Honestly, I would say scones. Everyone knows the British are scone eaters, and they're the ones that invented the scone. For the most part, anyway. When we, here in the United States anyway, when we say British food, and the first thing comes to my mind personally is a delicious, nice, sweet scone.
I would have to say fish and chips.
Bingo. I was going to say traditionally a Friday thing, but I've got a story that ties into exactly what Mr. Toole just said. Climate change. We've had our chips. Right. Chip lovers may find that their favorite dish takes a battering as a result of climate change, campaigners have warned. More extreme weather threatens UK crops from the humble potato to grapes used for British wine. Last summer's heat wave saw a 20% drop in potato yields, according to the Climate Coalition of environmental and social groups. The hot weather, which the Met Office said was made 30 times more likely by climate change, affected carrots and onions too. Farmers also reported more stunted, misshapen spuds, leaving the average chip at least an inch smaller. And it's not just hot weather causing problems. More than half of farmers have been hit by floods or storms in the past decade. By the 2050s, the area of land suited for potatoes could decline by 3/4, said a report from the coalition of 130 groups such as WWF, the Women's Institute and the National Trust. WWF's Gareth Redmond King said it should be unthinkable that the humble spud, a much-loved staple of British diet, could become a delicacy. But the unthinkable becomes reality if climate change isn't tackled. Environment Secretary Michael Gove said a new scheme would reward farmers who cut emissions and tackle climate change effects. So, your chips are going to be an inch smaller come 2050s. What are your views on small fries?
small fries come from big potatoes.
Yeah, but the thing is, it don't matter as long as fish is good.
Yeah, but then again, if the chips are smaller, you'll get more of them, and just drown them in salt and vinegar.
Yeah, but is that actually a solution? See, here's a thing also. And then it's not just about the climate change, but also it's about how we adapt to the climate change. Now, when you got more water and so on and so forth, you have also the fishing species that we continue fishing. It's gonna be depleted. Okay, depletion by that I mean they're not going to be extinct, no, but they will be depleted. And there is a major depletion in a lot of fish species, and that's why you get more fish species every day that you never heard of before. Fishermen cannot fish enough because supply and demand. So that's the problem that we're going to be facing sooner or later. Yeah, you might get more fish, but you're really depleting the fishing industry.
Yes, but the fishing industry, sure, people exercise restraint and then other people come in and just take what they can get. You gotta allow time for the fish to grow bigger and have more fish. But I got a load of other short stories to try and squeeze in. Plus, there's a story about the owner. When it comes to cryptocurrencies, apparently somebody has died, and the password to a laptop with people's details about cryptocurrencies has been lost.
Ooh, man. I bet there's quite a few people ticked off about that. And I'll be back in a minute.
He'll be back in a minute.
He'll be back in 2 and 2 when he's had his Mountain Dew. Yes, £145 million lost in crypto wallet as password owner dies. What do you think about that, maybe?
There's always a way around a password. Hack that shit. Hack that.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm not much of a conservationist myself, but really, honestly, we've come to the point where everyone should become a conservationist, or at least, care for this planet. Think of it like this. This is actually it, really, if you think about it. Our world as a species, right? Think of it as a spaceship, right? And when the spaceship breaks down, you obviously fix it. And you wouldn't do anything to harm and or hinder it because that's the only spaceship you have. If you break down in space, you might as well be as good as dead. And this is exactly how our planet is right now. It's the engines are beginning to break down. And if we don't do anything about it now, it'll be way awful too late. And by that, I mean too late. So maybe people should start conserving energy and really be thinking more green. No. Of course, I'm not talking, on doing your part by simply recycling. Do a little more, just a bit more. You'll be amazed how much you'll be helping out.
And Rob, I know you like technologies and sci-fi and light touch for most sensitive bionic hand. Experts have helped develop the world's most advanced bionic hand with a sense of touch. It offers more sensitivity with electrodes implanted in the upper arm, and is the first for people who have had an amputation below the elbow. Conventional prosthetics have electrodes over the skin, but they are unreliable and only allow control of a few movements. Dr. Lucas City of the University of Essex said the patient does not need to think about what to do. They can use the hand in a more natural way. Natural ways to use a bionic hand.
It would almost feel like a stranger at that point.
Well, it depends on the task you're using it in. Well, see, this is the thing also about technology is that I remember prosthetics at one time they didn't move at all, and for decades, in fact, for centuries, in fact, we have always had some sort of prosthetic that you just put on like a piece of wood that looks like a hand, or at one time they became latex, and that was like the most advanced technology. But now they're moving. You can grab things with them. You can almost use them as perfectly full hands, and not with full functionality, of course. But then you added this touch thing, and then later on, of course, they're going to add more motion and hand gesturing, so you can actually move around and honestly give someone the finger at a whim. And yes, you will be the bionic man.
Wow. I was to say this earlier on. I went and saw the film at the movies, Alita, Battle Angel, and it was all cybernetics and robotics, and it was absolutely fantastic. Yes, Alita. I think everybody should watch it if you're into sci-fi.
I would love that. You know what? I've been waiting to see this movie, and to be honest with you, I don't think I'm gonna. As of late, I've been excruciatingly busy. But that's not the point. The point I guess I'm trying to get at here is that this is one of those movies that I've been waiting for year round.
Oh yes, and I think there's going to be at least another one. When it ends, you get that feeling that they're going to make some more.
Open ending, you mean? Yeah, an open ending is a good ending. It sets it up for more. What do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? More parts to it, which is kind of funny. If you noticed, as of late, almost every movie has an open ending. Almost every movie, almost. I've been noticing that it's been like a trend where they always leave an opening or a gap for them to do a part 2, a part 3, and so on and so forth. And if it catches on, there's another franchise. Hollywood has changed the way it used to be. Whereas, they used to make a movie beginning, end, and over. That's it. It's over, right? And it becomes a hot thing, then they'll either reboot it or do a preview or whatever. But every movie now, every single movie, no exception, almost, has an open ending.
Yes, so obviously they're looking to make some more money. The time is getting on. I wonder if Kayla has anything else for us.
Kayla?
Kayla?
Kayla? Will you please ring Keith?
Keith, call Keith on speed dial.
Keith likes text messages.
Oh, I am still here. Oh, yes. My next story is about Garrett County students taking AC dip for Special Olympics. Students from 4 schools will dip into the AC waters of Deep Creek Lake to raise money for Special Olympics teams in Garrett County. Northern and Southern middle schools and Northern and Southern high schools are scheduled to participate in the Cool Schools Dunk on February 22nd at 11 a.m. at Uno Pizzeria and Grill. It will be held the day before the 21st annual Maryland State Police and Natural Resource Police Deep Creek Dunk. The Cool Schools Dunk has been started to help raise money to ensure that funds remain in Garrett County to support our unified sports teams in the community. Special Olympics teams, said Heather Raybold, the school systems director of special education. Special Olympics Maryland partners with Northern and Southern high schools to provide the interscholastic United Sports programs. Students who fundraise or donate $50 for their school dunk team are eligible to participate. The fundraising goal for the Deep Creek Dunk is $200,000, and as of Friday afternoon, more than $37,000 had been raised, according to the Deep Creek Dunk website. Money raised by Deep Creek Dunkers will benefit the 7,782 athletes of Special Olympics Maryland, which provides year-round sports training and athletic competition in a variety of Olympic-type sports events for children and adults with intellectual disabilities.
Ooh. Rob, you know there are some strange customs and things that go on in other parts of the world. Well, a banished woman dies in a smoke-filled hut. A woman in Nepal has died of suspected smoke inhalation after being banished to a hut during her period, police say. The body of Parbati Bogati, 21, was found in the smoke-filled hut in the Western Doughty district. It is believed she lit a fire for warmth in the windowless structure. Her death follows those of a mother and 2 sons in similar circumstances nearby 2 weeks ago. Many Nepalese communities see menstruating women as impure. Banishment, or Chowpaldi, was outlawed in 2005 but is still practiced. What are your thoughts on this?
It is an unfortunate situation, but her name sounds like she should have a car named after her.
I think there is a car named after her. The Bugatti, as we call it in the U.S. Bugatti, yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. Really, it is an unfortunate and sad situation. And this sad woman, has had to die for smoke inhalation. But what I find really odd is that, you would think in a tent it would be a little more ventilated, and it wouldn't cause that. See, that's why the Native Americans have perfected that by making what we call here in the U.S. a teepee. Those teepee huts are great, which is really odd. I find it odd that she didn't think of that, or it was too well unventilated, sort of. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's sad. No, it really is sad. It brings tears to my eyes when I see people die over something silly like that.
Maybe she was hotboxing in that teepee.
Yeah, it just says banished to a windowless structure. Sounds like somebody was forced to go into the cupboard. Hey, who's in the closet today? Oh my, look at the time, Rob. Time is fleeting.
Well then, what, have you run out of stories? Come on now. Come now. You must have more stories.
I have more. You want more? Women say the brain's behind staying younger. Women's brains could be more than 6 years younger than men's, the study finds. Scans found female brains were 3.8 years younger than their age, while male ones were 2.4 years older. A difference of 6.2 years. It could be why women don't experience as much cognitive decline in later years, said researchers at the Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis. Or is it St. Louis, USA?
Oh, that's an interesting story. Really, it is. St. Louis, huh? AKA St. Louis. See, yeah, I love stories like that. Really, I do. I know it sounds odd, but I do. It's stories like that that actually opens your eyes on other things. And it's the importance of these stories is rather, how should one put it? They play a role. They really do. Like I said, reality is far stranger than fiction. Do you have more?
Ooh. Scientists in the US have found a way to electronically stimulate laughter in patients who need to be awake during brain surgery. It creates a sense of calm, vital, as panic in movement can be life-threatening.
Oh, that's brilliant. I mean, imagine here you are, you can sit there, you're all in the zen going, and somebody fiddling around in your brain.
I'll be back in a minute.
He'll be back in a minute.
He'll be back in a minute. I have more. An 800-year-old copy of the Magna Carta is back on display after a man with a hammer tried to steal it in October. A new glass case in Salisbury Cathedral protects the 1215 document issued by King John.
King John, huh? Wow. That's old. That's old, all right. So, yeah. Any more stories? Let the people know, I say.
He'll be back in a minute. Spending time with children. Time with kids crucial to educational success. Who would have thought it? Instead of just giving them an iPad and sitting them in front of the cartoons. Spending time with children is key to how well they do at school, according to new research. A study involving 700,000 young people in Israel, including 22,000 who had lost a parent, looked at how they fared in an exam to get into college. The surviving parent's education had more of an impact on the child's academic success than that of a dead parent, the US-Israeli researchers said.
Yes. Children development always have been linked directly to, what do you call it? What was the word I'm looking for? Damn it. My mind went blank. Usually it doesn't, but it does sometimes. Every once in a while, I go blank like that. I guess the word I'm looking for is interaction. All right. And people are, we as a species, really, we survive on interaction, believe it or not. There is no such thing as loneliness, believe it or not. Loneliness is a state of mind. It's not a factual thing. We're hardwired to communicate and interact with others.
He'll be back in a minute, and there's more. Global warming will make the oceans appear more blue or green. Climate change will affect phytoplankton and alter the sea's appearance by 2100. A report in Natural Communications warns.
Okay, I'm back.
He's back.
He's back. Paid music streaming such as Spotify and Apple Music is set to overtake free services. 1 in 5, 20.6% paid in November, up from 18.3% in 2017 and a 0.9% behind free streaming.
Wow. Wow. Why would anyone pay for music while they can get it for free? I mean, I'm not trying to advertise for Pandora, but I'm a big fan of Pandora, okay? Pandora is free. You got other apps like, Slacker, iHeartRadio, whatever. And there's lots of those, believe it or not. Even Spotify offers music for free, but I never understood why would anyone pay money while they can get all that music for free. No, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand why. I don't understand why you would pay money. After all, you get the freedom of listening to whatever, whenever, however, with money. But when it's free, it's kind of randomized and alterized. And I like combination. I don't like to listen to one thing over and over and over again, or one particular band for like the whole day. That's just crazy. So I like the shuffle better. So free, I'm sticking with you.
Unless, of course, it's the legendary Cupcake Factory. 1943, 4, 5, 6, 7. Students at Edinburgh University have paid £784,018 in library fines since 2010, student website The Tab revealed. It said the library could have bought 3 million Freddos, which is a chocolate bar, or a luxury 4-bedroom flat in the city.
That's on overdue book fees?
Yep.
My God. Oh, Jesus. They could have bought a whole another entire library of books with that much money.
And I thought it was bad when I was a kid and I owed 50 cents to the library for an overdue book. Holy crap. I tell you what, we had a nun at the Catholic high school that I went to. She was on those book fees. If you owed for overdue books, she would come to the classroom and say, so and so, pull them out into the hallway. You owe 25 cents for overdue book fees. Oh my goodness, Sister Cora, please, Sister Cora. I was in the middle of a math test and you pull me out of class to tell me I owe 25 cents in overdue books? Yes, my child. All right, I'll get it to you after lunch.
Ooh. Now let's see. A digger driver admits wrecking bungalows. A builder has admitted using a digger to smash up a row of newly constructed retirement homes. Daniel Nigu, 31, tore down walls of 5 McCarthy stone bungalows that buyers were due to move into. It is unclear why he attacked the homes in Buntingford, Herefordshire, last August, but he worked for a contractor at the site. The homes had to be torn down and are being rebuilt. Romanian national Nigu of Harrow in northwest London will be sentenced at St Albans Crown Court on Monday.
Interesting story. But see, what I don't get is that, okay, Buffalo Tool, you attended a Catholic school, and there was a nun there. You know, nuns and Catholic schools don't go together. That's an oddity, by the way. That nun shouldn't have been there to begin with. Nuns don't belong in Catholic schools. No, they don't. No, they don't. I think you've been cheated, my friend.
No, nuns belong on the run. Everybody's heard about nuns on the run. Ah, my. There's a Starman waiting to be filmed. Film lovers are clamoring for movies based on Bob Marley and Frank Sinatra after the success of Bohemian Rhapsody about Queen. Top of the CompareTheMarket.com poll for biopics was David Bowie, of whom a film starring John Flynn called Stardust has been announced.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like those movies. I have to admit, Bohemian Rhapsody was really, really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, actually. Though it felt kind of quirky at times, but then again, Queen was always quirky. I can't wait to see, actually, a David Bowie movie.
Ooh. Okay. Military continues to clean up Skripal home. Work to decontaminate the home of former Russian spy poisoned by the deadly nerve agent Novichok is continuing. Military teams were throwing breeze blocks down a chute into a skip outside Sergei Skripal's home in Salisbury yesterday. The 66-year-old and his daughter Yulia, 33, collapsed in Wiltshire City on March 5th last year. Theresa May said the attack was almost certainly approved by the Russian state. Dawn Sturgis, 44, died in July after coming in contact with the perfume bottle used in the attack.
Perfume bottle, huh? Man.
Well, that is serious decontamination if they're tearing the house down brick by brick.
Well, what other stories do you have?
Well, okay, I have a dad tinkering with bike burns down the house. A dozy dad blew up half his house as he worked on his motorbike. Peter Biggs, 59, was draining the petrol from the tank when it caught fire and exploded. The blaze took 6 fire engines 2 hours to put out. Mr. Biggs of Cleef, Kent, had to phone his wife Louise, who was shopping with their 2 children. She was hysterical, he said. She was never a lover of my bike.
So does he think she had something to do with it? The plot thickens.
Yeah, it thickens like a marinara sauce that's been on the fire for almost 2 hours.
Okay. Rob, I know you're a dog lover. How about Snowbody to Love for the loneliest dog, Hector? Hector the hilarious lurcher clutches his favourite snowman toy as he waits for a home. The 2-year-old is the loneliest dog in Britain after spending 500 days at the RSPCA Little Valley Animal Shelter in Devon.
Oh, that's sad. I love dogs.
Yeah, and well, I'm not sure what else Kayla's got for you. But I'm almost done. Would you believe it? What do you guys have for us?
Well, since you asked, I have a beef steak that's actually a really good steak and high quality. And I put it on the fire just a little bit and made it a medium rare. And yeah, I had that.
And I've got this bump that just came out on my penis. It's came out. It's a little one, but it's over the period of today. It's grown quite big. So that's what I've got.
How big? Is it like a goiter?
It's about the size of the tip of a stylus. You know, the little rubber tip on a stylus. That's about how big it is now.
Ah, I see. Well, then, maybe you should start naming it. So this way you can grow it and nurture it. And every once in a while, whenever you pee, say hello.
And ask it when it's going to bring me lunch.
More like, when is it going to take you out for lunch?
Well, I think it took me out to lunch. That's where the whole thing came from.
Ah, right. Well then, have we got any more news to report?
Kayla, have you got any more stories to add?
Yes, I do. I have one about a South Carolina minister accused of raping and impregnating a child. A Baptist minister in Spartanburg, South Carolina, is accused of repeatedly raping and twice impregnating a child whose pregnancies were then terminated. News outlets reported 32-year-old Philip Buxton was arrested Wednesday at the Cleveland Chapel Baptist Church, where he has worked since 2014. The Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office says he is charged with sexual conduct with a minor and has admitted to the allegations. Investigators say tips provided through the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children led authorities to the girl last week. She told investigators the abuse started in 2015 when she was 13 years old.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I will reserve comment on this one. I am not going to comment on this one. That's just sad. That's just amazingly disastrous.
No comment. Or no comment that can say how angry I am. How on earth do people get away with such things?
My point exactly, how do people really have a heart to do this is beyond me.
It's times like this everybody needs a Sandman.
Right. Any more stories?
Right.
Right. I think I have exhausted all my stories for this week.
Would you want to hear the story about Rob and I at the resort this weekend?
Oh, you gonna tell it? Go, go, go. Tell it now.
Oh, they'll have to tune in next week to hear that one.
Right. Okay.
Ooh, I have found one shocking story. Somebody who has been pronounced fit to work. Shocking pictures of a severely ill man who was denied disability benefits. Weighing just 6 stone and barely able to walk, Stephen Smith was deemed fit to work by officials who denied him disability benefits. The shocking pictures was taken at Christmas when the 64-year-old
Oh, my. Huh. Well, that is crazy.
Okay. My Zello just signed me out. Maybe they don't want to hear this story, so, yes. Weighing just 6 stone and at 64-year-old, he's all skin and bones, and yet they said he was fit to work. So I'm going to leave it there, and thank you for allowing us to collaborate with the Brain Tool Show. The Afternoon Twist will next be on next Sunday. And don't forget other shows, This or That, and also the Saturday Cook-Off, where we'd like to invite anybody that wants to join us cooking to participate in cooking some fabulous things to eat on a Saturday morning.
And Psychobagapus, could you tell our listeners what time they may catch the This and That show on Thursday night? I believe it's Thursday night, correct?
It is Thursday night, but they keep changing the time, so I'm not sure what they've settled with now.
I believe it is 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
I believe it is 9 p.m. Eastern Time. However, we have come to the end of our show. Yes, you've waited 2 hours with us here this fine evening, and for that, we thank you. Allow me by start saying, well, actually, I'm going to pass the mic around here and have every one of us wishing you a good night, and we'll be rolling credits right after. Kayla, care to say good night?
Of course, good night, everybody, and thank you for joining us.
Good night. Thank you, Kayla. Rob the Brain, Buffalo Tool, CCM Productions, OG Criminal, Rattlesnake, LBT, and don't forget to call Keith.
Remember, the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. And with that being said, good night, everybody from Buffalo Tool. Thank you to all the higher-ups. Thank you to Psychobagapus and Kayla for joining us tonight. Thank you to all of our listeners out there, Twitch, YouTube, CB Radio, Drama Free, and any other channel that may be streaming our show tonight. Thank you to all of you. That's what helps make every one of our shows here on CB Radio Drama Free a success, is the support that we receive from our listeners and our fans and all the groupies that storm the dressing room after the show. all the groupies we don't want to have sex with, but Rob and I have to because it's part of our job. And Psycho Bagapus, you and Kayla can join us tonight in the green room for the post-show party. So, good night.
Yes, folks. Yes, folks. You've heard everyone here in the ROC production team wishing you a very good evening. And from the Brain Tool Show, again, I am Rob the Brain, and that was my co-host, Buffalo Tool, and of course, my two bestest friends who actually have their show that you can tune in every Sunday, the Afternoon Twist. That was Psycho Backbus and Tilly. And from our show to you, we say good night. Don't forget to tune in next week. Yes, don't forget to tune in next week because every night on Saturday night, at midnight, it's the Brain Tool Show. And you know, us two buffoons can't thank you enough to actually really thank you. You guys have been a very good support to us. Twitch, thank you so much. YouTube, hey, you've been great. And you know what? Each and every one of you who has been here supporting our show, especially in the live audience, again, thank you. We wouldn't have a show without you, really. Computer Chick, you've been great. Everybody, Rattlesnake, awesome. LBT, you're awesome. You guys are awesome. ROC, family forever. And, well, I guess you guys are going to have to tune in next week. So this has been an ROC production. And please don't forget to ring Keith.